Are you looking for more appropriate solutions to improve the efficiency of your retail, logistics, warehousing, or catering business? From thermal label printers to shipping scales, we sell a variety of products to do just that. Munbin, more choice for your growing business. Visit munbin.com.
We know anxiety doesn't work 9 to 5, so anyone can text Shout anytime. But being there 24/7 takes funding. Click to donate and join the Thumb War for mental health.
Cherry Printers are an established printing company that produce quality products at sensible prices. From cash receipts and invoice books to GDPR-compliant, confidential visitor sign-in books, they have it all. For more information, visit cherryprinters.co.uk. Unboxed. Proudly sponsored by Cherry Printers.
School, college, university. Education is a big part of your life, and it's completely natural to feel anxious or worried about it sometimes. Everyone worries about things that happen from time to time. Lots of people will experience something difficult or have to work through a problem during school. There's a lot of pressure to get good results, make lots of friends, do well in every subject, and overall, be that good student. These stresses can sometimes feel too much, but the important thing is to recognise when there's a problem and ask for help as soon as you can. You are listening to Unbox with an episode about education.
Unboxed
with Finley Ratnet.
Finley Ratnet.
Finley!
Yes, welcome to another episode of Unboxed. Today, talking about education. And for this episode, I'm joined again by Grace, who is 19 years old. Hello again, Grace.
Hello.
How are you doing?
I'm doing good.
Good to hear. Now, as you know, at the start of each episode, I ask my guests to tell me about a special talent that they have or a fun fact, and it gives us a chance to find out more about the guest. Now, last time you gave us a fun fact, and to be honest, I still haven't stopped thinking about swimming with pigs, which is what you plan on doing in 25. But this time, you've got a special talent to tell us about. So, Grace, go ahead.
Well, that special talent came when I was a baby, literally. I was in hospital for a few months, and I was 2 years old. And I somehow did not enjoy being in hospital. So basically, I had this really cross look on my face that I always did when a doctor came in, and it made them feel so scared of me that literally just any doctor just went out of the room and was just scared coming back into my room. And then my mom had to go with them into my room because I was just sitting there with a really cross look on my face, trying to just scare those doctors away, and it did it a few times. So yeah,
that's really interesting. So can you still do that face if someone's annoying you? Can you just do that face?
I can't do it as good as I did it when I was younger, which was really scary, but I still can do it as good. So yeah.
So if anyone's annoying you, you know what to do.
A mental health podcast for young people.
Unboxed
with Finley Ratnet.
Now, obviously, there are so many subtopics when it comes to talking about education. So just to start us off, you're now in college, but how have you found education over the last 19 years of your life?
It was interesting to see different kind of education. People, when they finished high school, they go on to university. Some people go to college. Some people don't go to college or don't go to university, but they do something else. So it's interesting to see all these kind of different things you can do as your education.
Absolutely, yeah, and especially when you spend so much time with people in primary school or secondary school, and then you go off to college, and you see people who you've sort of grown up with. Some are going off to college as well. Some going straight into working. And it's really interesting to see where those people end up that you used to spend so much time with. But where do you hope to be in the next 10 years?
I hope to be finished with my whole school education, and what I'd like to be is I'd like to become an interior designer and have my own little company, and just have that in like 10 years.
And where did your interest in that start? Is it sort of very specific sort of job, if you like? Where did that sort of come about?
Well, it started first of so we built a house. Well, we didn't build a house. We bought a house that was a bit like not the best looking,
Mm-hmm.
and of course my parents, they made that house look amazing, which now is. And I always, like, when I was older, I always found like YouTube videos about interior design, interior decorating, and I also did like a work placement for 2 weeks in like an interior design place in Germany. And from that moment on, I knew I'd like to do that. I would like to decorate houses and make people happy with the things that they can do.
And obviously, many young people might have goals or dream jobs like yourself, and their parents or family might be really supportive. Well, hopefully they're really supportive of that and really encouraging. But for some, that sort of encouragement and, that might sort of feel like a lot of pressure, especially if the young person doesn't enjoy being in an education setting. For example, myself, when I started college, when I left school, I had a huge interest in film and TV, and I went into this college, and sort of my parents and my family were, really encouraging. Wow, you really enjoy doing film and TV. This is going to be great. But very soon after I started college, I thought, no, I really don't like being in this place of education. It feels too much like being in school. But then I really wanted to quit. But at the same time, I knew that it would sort of confuse my parents because they knew I had a huge interest in film and TV, and they wonder why, why I'm quitting. But would you say that's quite a big thing?
Oh yeah, well, I get that. It's a bit family and friends can a bit, they can be a bit pressuring. And for me, it was, I wanted to be like them. I wanted to make them happy. So what it was that, like, I wanted to go to university to get a higher grade and to make them happy, which now I'm like thinking, actually, thank God I didn't go to university, because I'm way happier in college than in university, and it's way better for me. So yeah, there is, like, they can pressure you, but also they can help you find the best education area for you.
Absolutely. And obviously exams are a huge part of education. How did you find exams?
Well, it depends. I'm not quite sure how German exams and English exams, like Germany and England, I think they're completely different. But I dreaded exams every single time someone, like a teacher, told me, oh, exams, there's going to be exam. I was like, no, I'd rather be sick, because I don't know, I just hated exams so much that I just thought, like, I literally don't want to do it. And maths was the worst, because I'm not good at maths, and then just these exams just made it worse, because they showed the teachers that you're not good enough in that subject, because you don't have a good mark. So I did not like exams.
That's really interesting. So what sort of structure are the exams in Germany? Because I think the sort of main ones we have in England, first of all, are the SATs at the end of primary school, just like a sort of, I think it's just a way of sort of, telling your new teachers in secondary school, giving them an idea of how well you do in education, so that you can be put in the right group before you go into secondary school. Then obviously you got the mock papers in secondary school, and then the actual GCSEs. How does it work in Germany?
See, we don't have SATs in primary school, and we don't have mocks. We do not have that. Like, you have exams, like you just have tests and exams, and then what you have is you don't have a exam that shows your new teachers how you are. You don't have that. You finish with primary school, you go into high school, you either do your GCSEs or you do your A levels, which is in Germany, which you do 12th grade or 13th grade. The GCSEs in Germany you do at 10th grade.
And so what advice would you give to any young people who might be having difficulties coping with exams, or having, exam stress?
Well, my teacher always told me, you should not learn, like you should learn a few weeks before, but you should not study the night before the exam. I don't know why, but so many people told me that if you study before, like the night before your exam, if you still study, it impacts you. And so what I would say is basically just try and learn as much as you can. If you learn as much as you can, that is fine. It's better than not learning anything. Try and just do some breathing exercises. That's what I did. And try to calm yourself down. Don't study the night before. Finish studying the day before, or like the second night before, but not the night before, because that sometimes is a huge impact. And just think, okay, it's an exam, I've got this, I've learned a lot, I studied, there's nothing else I can do, I'm gonna be fine. So just try and reassure you that you're gonna be fine and you're gonna do it your own way and it's gonna be all right. Like, the only thing you can do is to try, and then maybe next time try a bit harder.
Now, exam stress can affect anyone. You might be worried about doing revision, getting the grades you need, or feel pressure from your school or family. Now, it can seem scary to talk about stress or anxiety. You might feel like nobody else is feeling this way, but bottling up stress and trying to do everything on your own can often make the stress worse. So it can really help to talk. Now, obviously, it's the summer holidays in the UK at the moment, and obviously the year 11s have finished their GCSEs, and they're waiting to get the results at the end of August. Now, what sort of advice would you give to those people who have finished their exams and they might be sort of feeling stressed about, what results they're going to get, hoping they're going to get what they want?
Well, I think, like the time when I finished my GCSEs in Germany, I had to wait a very long time before I got my mark, before I got my end marks. And of course, that is very stressful because you just don't know what you're going to get. But what I would give is just try to think that you tried your best, you studied, you did it, you done your GCSEs, you've done everything you could have done, you tried, and, just think of, if the outcome is bad, well, it's not that, at least you tried, and just try and think like, okay, fine, you know what, I'm just going to look at it as it is. And I've done everything that I could do. And I'm just going to wait till I get it. And hopefully everything will be fine.
Sure, and I remember when I was waiting for my GCSE results last summer, I think, I was on holiday at the time, and I was sort of quite, I don't know, I felt okay about it just because I thought I'd do well. And there's one piece of advice I gave to my friends, and that was the fact that obviously COVID, we were sort of in and out of education at the time that COVID was going on, and that is an achievement in itself. Continuing with education whilst you've got a global pandemic going on in the background. And that still affected the year 11s who've recently left school. It affected the last sort of few, year 9, 10, 11, I imagine. So that's really important to bear in mind as well. The fact that you got through a global pandemic whilst trying to focus on your education, so that is an achievement in itself. But finally, I just wanted to touch on one more thing which we sort of mentioned earlier, and that's the future. Making decisions and thinking about the future can be stressful, but it is normal to be worried. It can mean change and uncertainty, but it can also lead to exciting opportunities or a fresh start. Grace, I've known of many people who have really struggled to decide what they want to do, or work out how they can get to where they want to be, and some even not being able to imagine a happy future. What would you say to those people?
Well, it's hard for some people who don't know what they're going to do in the future. If they've finished school, they left, and now they're thinking like, what the hell am I doing? Of course, that is like a big impact of a lot of people. What I would think is, just maybe think about what you enjoyed while, like, what you thought you liked while you were in education, seeing, what kind of job would be the good one, best for you, what would suit you. Or some people, they finish school, some people go traveling for a year before they start any other education or a job or like that. That is what you can do as well. Or, some people don't go off to university, they do an apprenticeship, like where you work and you earn money. So there's just a lot that you can do, and what I would give them is just, give yourself time and just think about what you enjoy, and then just somehow see what you could do. Ask your family and friends what they think would be good for you, a bit of feedback, bit of help would work as well. And then maybe go to job centers. They could help you find a really good job as well. Like, there's a lot of help in the outside world that you can ask, and they will help to find you the best job or the best education or like that.
Great, that's really, really, really good what you just said, especially giving yourself enough time. Grace, thank you.
No problem.
A mental health podcast for young people.
Unboxed
With Finley Ratnet.
Finley Ratnet.
If you're feeling low and you're finding it hard to cope, talking about it can seem tough. But it's also an important first step in getting help. It'll also help you see that change and a positive future is possible. You'll be surprised at how strong you can be. With the right support, things can get better. For more information about education and ways to support yourself, you can visit unboxedpodcast.org/support/education.
A mental health podcast for young people.
Unboxed
With Finley Ratnet.
Finley Ratnet. Finley!